Thank you for being with us. Let's first understand what Mythos is. What does it do beyond what AI tools are already available?
Thank you for having me. So essentially, this is an interesting story because usually what makes news is the release of a new powerful AI tool to the market. But now everyone in the tech sector, in the business sector are talking about the not releasing and withholding the release of this new AI model, Anthropic Claude Mythos. And the reason is that basically Anthropic, the vendor, claimed that it would be too risky to release it to the public because according to their claims, it is a step change in terms of cyber capabilities and being able to identify vulnerabilities across software. So, well, firstly, let me say that many of this it could be marketing hype. Nobody really knows that because we haven't had much independent evaluation of this system, except for one report which actually came from UK AI Security Institute was the only institute who had accessed and performed an evaluation. And they sort of confirmed some of the earlier claims by Anthropic, but not completely. So I wouldn't say that according to them, this new system is quite powerful when basically dealing with
Well,
a
to
big...
put our finger on it, it's an agentic system. So the AI agents work independently, and the concern would be that you could train those AI agents to infiltrate financial services, and if that was in the hands of hackers, cyber criminals, that could be potentially very dangerous.
That is true, but I would say we need to take it with a grain of salt because at the same time, so since Anthropic released it, other providers, even open source providers, were able to replicate some of the findings that Anthropic claimed was the unique findings of Mythos. So definitely Mythos is super powerful, but how dramatic the changes from the existing model it still is a question, but you're absolutely right. It's about how you put these AI systems together in an agentic AI system. So there could be an army of agents basically finding vulnerabilities, attacking, writing the code.
And that ability of an agent to create another agent and to run these agents until they crack essentially the cloud that they're operating on. So what would the banks need to do? Presumably they've been given a finite amount of time to patch the clouds and to find the security flaws within it.
That's a very good point. So essentially, this system would benefit both the good guys, the defenders, and the bad guys, the hackers and attackers.
Which is fine if you're a bank and you've got all the resources of a bank. But what about all the small and medium-sized companies and the CEOs of those companies who might be watching, thinking, well, what does this mean for me?
That's a valid point. And banks are really not that much different. They are just at the front line of cybersecurity. They are attractive targets because the money is there. But it goes across all the sectors, especially critical infrastructure, power grids, electricity systems, railroads, ports, airports, etc.
And I suppose the point would be, Saeed, that we're already exposed, even with the current technology as is. Cybersecurity around the world is very poor.
That is correct, and that's why actually Anthropic gave these big firms and also the banks some head start in terms of having access to the system and preparing themselves for the potential threats. So as I said, I think in the long run it would benefit the defenders because they will basically find the bugs, and once a bug is found or a vulnerability is found, they can disseminate it and the whole system would be safer. But you are absolutely right. But one point that I want to emphasize is that, as I mentioned in the evaluation, it seems that if the system has some sort of proper defense posture and proper active defense, Anthropic Mythos wouldn't be basically a silver bullet that can basically intrude and basically gain access to the system. So as long as these even small firms, small businesses and individuals, they follow cyber hygiene, even simple steps like updating the software, installing the patches, using multi-factor authentication, using strong passwords, even these simple steps would help a lot in terms of preventing any sort of cyber attack and data breach.
Indeed so, as you suggest. We're in catch-up mode and it's important we get ahead of it. Saeed, thank you very much indeed for that.